One summer, Steam had a bunch of football games on sale, and I thought, are any of these good? So I spent $200? Not the best financial decision. Let's play each of these for 10 to 20 minutes, rank them, and hope I didn't waste my money. It begins in the streets with Golazo 2. I'm not sure what happened to Golazo 1. Opening it up, there are several game modes, and it has interesting character designs. Look at that guy's legs, is that Roberto Carlos? An initial problem was when I wanted to select something. Instead of A, I had to click a button on the back of my controller. How odd. We selected the street tour where you travel across the world to compete in tournaments. Choosing our team, I had to go with Prison FC. Starting in Tokyo, or wait, Tokyo? Our opponents were Rainbow FC. A bunch of thugs versus the LGBT community, let's go. I appreciate the aesthetic of the game. However, will it be any good? What are the controls again? What just happened? Oh, is he dancing on me? X is slide tackle, B is... I swear I clicked all 3 buttons and nothing happened. I had to check them multiple times, which led to several brilliant plays. Nothing I wanted to do was working. Even the commentator wasn't holding back.
Only one team is playing this match.
Oh, piss off, commentator. They do deserve to go to prison for this illegal defending.
Shoot. Goal.
Clicking X shot the ball, which it wasn't supposed to do. I didn't realize it in the session, but the control problems weren't the game's fault. Rather, mine. This controller has 2 settings, and I had it on the wrong one. So the 7-1 loss does not represent my skill. After another match, I ranked it in C, which retroactively was up to B. Head goal. What does this have in store? Similarly to FM, it's made with Unity, so maybe this is a preview. This is the game. I have to pay money for shirt numbers? It looks like what I would have played on Flash as a kid. For a minute, before moving on. I couldn't find an offline game mode, so the bar has been set low. Retro Football Boss. Sounds intriguing. Let's get into it. It's grass. Riveting. Okay, well, that was fun, guys. Retro Football Boss. Added to the unplayable list. I wasted my money again. Well, that was fun. Adorables brought up the issue of having the game appear on the wrong monitor. Usually, you can switch to your other one, yet it was stubborn and disappeared. The game is gone.
Game's gone.
When it finally decided to work, it certainly was bright, but going to the settings, it decided to pan there slowly and back to the menu slowly. Based on these cute pictures, the players on the pitch would be aliens. What did the gameplay have in store? How do I play? You have to drag your country's aliens towards the ball and hopefully score a goal. That is all there is to it. Best of all, I clicked off the game and can no longer access it. Okay, that's enough. Almost unplayable. So I'll put it into a new category called Mobile Fodder. Club Manager 2016. Why 2016? That was the version shown to me on sale. Requiring to download software to launch it was weird, but when you open it up, am I playing a football simulator or entering a boss in Elden Ring? This seemed intriguing, with shaved Sean Dyche available. It's described as a quick football manager, saying after the adapting phase, you can get through a season in less than an hour. Rebuild YouTubers would love that. There are cool things to this game, and a lot of detail, including youth teams that go down to age 7? I don't think this is legal. There's also different songs in the backgrounds. Granted, I think I just want to listen to my own stuff. Despite the high amount of features on an initial play, it's almost too much to take in and can feel overwhelming. With these cards popping up, which I think represent achievements, I question why Temu Kratos is here. These pop-ups kept appearing, which got annoying, but we finally got to a match. Computer? Well, that's an iPad for one. Oh, so this is the gameplay. Oh. I mean, to be fair, that doesn't look terrible. What the hell's that formation? I swear I clicked 4-4-2. What was that goal? What the? Look at the face here. Penal? How did you get stopped on the penal? Oh! Preview the FM25 match engine. Oh, can we win it? We won? I think that's enough of that game. I think you'd have to spend a lot of time to really understand what to do in the game and to go through a lot of things. But hey, Wasn't bad. I'll give it a B. Next up is Soccer Story, a football game that seems like it was inspired by Golf Story. Let's have a look. 1 year ago, the Apple Cup Final, sponsored by Apple. Question mark versus question mark. Let's score an early goal. What, the foxes and a lion and a shark? What? An incredible goal was scored. Then calamity. It defied all explanation. What the hell happened? Where did everyone go? Oh, there's one guy there. Our plan worked. We can take control of football. Yatter. I wonder who that's supposed to be based on. What about the animals? Send them back down? Yes. A warning to anyone who dares kick a ball again. Damn, this guy's evil. From that day forward, football was banned, except for carefully controlled Soccer Inc. matches. You begin as one of two twins in a world where football is illegal. Then, on a normal day, a football smashes through your window. The ball escapes, and you try to talk to your mom about it. She doesn't want to hear the word football, and makes you do chores with football boots. Gardening shoes. After tackling some carrots, you search for the ball, leading to the soccer town pitch, where you see the ball on a locked field. This forces you into the clubhouse to receive a key from Bob, who tells us football is not allowed. Only Soccer Inc. football. Americans win in the end, Brits. This is some dystopian world, as we unlock the pitch and grab the magic football. Apparently, the ball was delivered by a robot who conveniently doesn't recall breaking my window. Now, unofficial football is apparently banned, but we can play official football if we make a team. I feel like this contradicts what happened earlier. You don't choose a team chooses you.
Leave the football before the football leaves you.
The last thing I did was recruit my sister to join the team by doing her job, using a football to put the bins upright. I guess I missed the Stardew Valley expansion. Now you might question, how do you get around playing football, which is illegal? Well, officer, we weren't playing football. We were playing goal ball. I'm done. To be fair, it's given me the most to talk about, and I did try a game of goal ball. It felt alright. It just felt odd to direct my passes and shots. Also, the goalkeepers are overpowered, and the best strategy is Brexit ball, not that tiki-taka shit. Overall, I appreciate the pixel art and the setting. While the story so far is kind of everywhere, this was the most fun I had so far. I'll put it in A tier because I don't know how many of these games are going to be good. Save your nuts? The epic nut from the tree of life. Let the Nut Olympics begin. This is a football game? It isn't. Feels more like rugby with a capture the flag element, but was on this list for some reason. If I had to rank this, D for these nuts, guts, and goals. Except I couldn't get past the tutorial. Similar to Golazo, there were controller issues, which was my fault. However, this game wasn't working well with my keyboard either. I felt bad dropping it because it looked pretty cool in the trailer. Natural Soccer, which has the Pro Evolution Soccer team names. Yeah, this is a natural football game. Not much else to add. D. Angle Soccer? These two characters don't look like they should be within the same universe. Alright, let's play. Okay, this is terrible. This might be worse than all the games we've played today. And not even played. Generally, I might add just another row. This is worse. That was worse than unplayable. Torchan 6. Did I just buy the German version of the same game? Yeah, this is the same exact game. I guess I just put it in the same ranking. It's B, but German. No fair play. F is to clinch? Huh? Punching? Bro, I'm not gonna remember all of these. Let's just try a match. Is this an online game again? Why is my ping so bad? Okay, I'm just gonna do training. I went through the tutorial, which included all the things I mentioned. I'm sure this could be fun if you learned the controls. I really didn't, and I had my fill. High D. Super Arcade Football. The first image had me intrigued, until I saw the main character's face. I don't want my bum, but so what? Basically, your favorite club is closing down due to bankruptcy, and logically, you break into the stadium. Normal behavior, especially with you walking onto the middle of the pitch. Then, a man named Old Joe appears. A former manager, he goes on the spiel that despite this club being one of the oldest, what matters now is money over passion. And Balerm, the club name, doesn't have the former. The stadium is said to be sold to Snakes Field? D-Tech Ed Sheeran isn't having any of it. How can old Joe do this? Football's still about heart and passion. Instead of ignoring this fool and walking away, old Joe gets angry at this Martin fellow and sells the club for £1. It's pierced, worthless, just like you. In spite of its silliness, I appreciate the story. Instead of pissing off, old Joe helps your ambition of climbing the leagues. Going through a match, I thought it was fine enough. It won't blow your mind, but I think it deserves a high B. Ball 2D. Mobile fodder. Alpaca ball? S tier. Joking aside, the game has a lot of detail to its stadiums and the environment that surrounds it. I mean, the China stage has a flying dragon that randomly appears. Weirdly, the default amount of CPUs is 0, so I faced nobody. The controls were a little funky and can take some getting used to. Another problem was that I couldn't exit the game before a new one started.
I would like to quit.
A for Alpaca, Tiny Football. An 8-bit style game that has the best player names. Example for Poland, we have Skorupsko in net, Bidnerik in the back, Zoilonsko in the midfield, and Lewandowski up top. Playing in the World Cup mode, it didn't go well.
Damn you,
On paper, I should have gotten out of this group. Instead, Poland was going to Poland.
Penal! How? You cannot tackle me from behind and win the ball. Referee, do you have eyes? Huh?
Is player switching a thing? Oh, piss off. Did he take his shirt off? What the? Maybe I'm just shit at football games. Overall, maybe low B. Match day. There were 4 versions of this, and the only system I recognized was a Commodore 64. So let's try that. What the? I didn't even get to choose my team, but... What is this? Okay, they do have shirts. I thought they were shirtless for a second. What is happening? What is happening? Oh, this is one of the games of all time. Let's try the Spectrum version. Matchday by John Rittman and Chris Clark. Okay, this one has a little more to it. How is it even worse? What the heck? Okay, what about this one? Okay, this is what game was made in 85, so we gotta keep that in mind. I mean, at least this one looks like a video game. It goes above nuts strictly because it is a football game. Legendary 11, which has Jairzinho on the cover? Starting it up, the menus were cool. I used Brazil in the America Cup, and similar to FIFA 10 and 11 on the Wii, which I have videos about, there are booster-like cards. Since this is based on the 70s, the shorts are going to be real short, and they made sure to enhance on the most important part. The graphics complement the vibe of watching a 1970s football match, and even imitates the advertisements. How was the gameplay? Better than most, which isn't saying much. It still had problems, such as when my own guy walked in front of the ball while taking the free kick. Testing the accuracy of the game historically, I won a penalty, but their keeper was well off his line. Is this accurate?
Against Banks, and Banks has saved it!
It didn't matter, because I hit the bar. What about this next play? It took until the second half to get a hang of things, as I started scoring golazos. Great goals by Romario. Looking at other modes, legendary matches caught my eye. It reminds me of events from Super Smash Bros., just with real life fixtures of the past. Overall, the gameplay went for an arcadey approach, which turned out alright. It definitely could use some sound effects, as scoring a goal like this doesn't sound as hype. High B. Desktop Soccer 2. I'm really skipping out on the originals. The menu and sound reminds me of a game that would be on the Nintendo Wii. Not that that's a bad thing. The setting is on school desks rather than the pitch. Brings me back to elementary school, where me and my friends drew on erasers to emulate real-life footballers. Testing the gameplay, I decided to try out the tournament mode. While the graphics aren't anything to go home about, they do a good job representing the desktop atmosphere. Although at points, shooting and passing felt rigid, especially the latter when trying to aim my shots. It was surprising that there was additional time at the end, which gave our opponents a chance. Corruption even at the desktop scene. No worries, as we won. Outside of the tournament mode, there are mini games like Kick Target.
Bruh.
Free kick prize pool went better as I won a gacha prize. Socks? You earn points after matches, so you can buy stuff like socks or win them in mini games. Finally, there are 6 locations, with the most unique being the stationary field, which had stationary everywhere. You can even push them to other locations.
Bro, they went far down. No way.
Penalties arrive as a result of a draw, in which you see the classroom. I lost because they kept shooting it in the middle. Except for the one shot I stayed still. The unique environment puts it at a low B for me. Actua Soccer 2. Again, where's Actua Soccer 1? We actually have player licenses in this, and menu commentary.
Alan Shearer. Shearer!
This is from 1997, which was the early era of 3D football games. If you grew up with it, you'll love it. So if that's you, skip the next few minutes. I chose England and faced the Netherlands. Of course, the graphics are rough for a game from the PlayStation era. Can't lie though, Shearer looks hilarious. That's not where my complaints are. The camera is possibly the worst I've ever used. It rotates as you go up and down the pitch. A lot of the time, you have to guess where your teammates are, or glance at the radar, which also rotates. Doing something as simple as rolling it to a defender?
Like, how does he not get the ball there?
The shooting is also dreadful, but the opponents couldn't score for their lives. At least there's a commentator.
It's gone for half-time. What are your thoughts, Trevor?
Well, at the moment, we're
Wait, there's a second commentator?
This ended in pens where I saved multiple. I meant to dive the other way in most of these.
Okay, let's just not do anything.
Overall, this may be a problem for the PC version, as the PlayStation reviews are better by several outlets.
Why is the Dutch player celebrating? We won.
However, for what I had, high D tier, later up to low C. Football Club Simulator. Made for the 2020-21 season, this is a manager simulator. It continues the tradition of Club Manager 2016 with dramatic music. You can either choose any club you want or be forced into a lower division side. The English Premier... Oh wait, sorry, my apologies. The English Primera Division has recognizable names as Anfield FC, the Blues, and more. Starting the career, the player names might be the best so far. Ah yes, Anfield FC's brilliant Dutch defender Van, world-class Brazilian midfielder Foster, and the Senegalese wonder MBA. The menus make it easy to access everything, so it's not too overwhelming. It doesn't seem too complex and has cool little things like choosing your sponsor. Unfortunately, looking at the stadium caused the game to crash. If it's gonna crash before I even start a match, my ranking will be harsh. I'm sure it's better than this rating given. Football. This is also a management simulation, which is up to date compared to the others. It's nice that the first thing you see is ads for different games to purchase. Do you want me to play this? They are ahead of FM though, with women's football included. In tradition with non-FM titles, bombastic background music. A unique feature is that if you can't decide what team to choose, a questionnaire can be taken to aid in that. Yet, the questions were timed, and a few asked very specific things. How is this supposed to determine my perfect club? Here's my assessment if any of you care. The options given: Colchester, where there is a strong resistance to sign me. The same one for Southend-on-Sea and Burton-upon-Trent. We went with Burton and were welcomed in the best way. The staff are wondering why the hell they signed me? Everything begins with setting your rules for the club, followed by seeing the players who all have the same face shape. This whistle guy then tells me that I can do everything with this bottom part of the screen, but I should let the assistants do everything. While the amount of control seems intriguing, I can understand Whistleman, as there's a lot going on. Choosing your weekly calendar, your training planning, ticket prices, opponents for a friendly, sponsorships, cup draws, boot camp. Finally, a news article related to Southampton, signing someone for 55 million. This was all prior to our friendly. Tutorials are important since these games can be complex, but Damn, this was a good deal of reading. I wanted to get into a match by this point, and there's not even any highlights. All this information beforehand, and the main part of the game was underwhelming. I'll put it in C. It hooked me initially, yet as it went on, it made me want to rush through everything. Football Tactics and Glory was another management simulator, or at least that's what I thought. With Lothar Matthäus on the cover, this was actually a turn-based strategy game, similar to Fire Emblem. In this, it begins with you straight into a match. You're a promising striker and are expected to score. The field is split into 7x12 squares. Each square can have an action, although it depends on what part of the field you're in. In each turn, you're given 3 actions, whether to dribble, move a player, pass, or shoot. From a distance, the graphics look alright, until you zoom in. Is that Jonjo Shelvey? Then, the big twist. You think you're the star man, but actually, you get injured and are forced to retire. Then, we have a 15-year time skip. A guide tells us everything that has happened to us, and we become a manager. I think it's an interesting idea, and that twist was pretty cool. If you like turn-based games, it might be worth checking out. I'll give it a B. World Fighting Soccer 22. This gives off Football Street Fighter vibes. It's a side-scrolling 4v4, where you want to score on your opponents. Simple enough. Not for me, though. I got my ass whooped by Mexico with Pierre Trudeau, Mikey Moose, Oscar Igloo, and Nick Maple on my team. This is kind of a monkey brain game. There are air horns, pre-match analysis, guys yelling when they kick, and fire coming out of the ball. After getting smoked, I needed to learn the controls. So in training, why are the commentators here? There is depth to the gameplay other than kick and run. I think it's something you have to practice more, as trying a second match.
I can't really pay attention to the names.
I lost by more goals. In spite of that, I had a fun time, and that's the most important metric. So, this is A tier for me. Behold the Kickmen. A mature rated game made by a guy who has zero understanding of the sport. That's not a criticism, that's literally a warning before the menus. Alright, let's get to it.
Boring.
Okay. Whoa, 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 well. What is this music sound? Why is it still not going down?
Wanting to start a game to avoid my eardrums exploding? There's another warning telling me to first play the tutorial instead of the story. Fine. Unfortunately, I couldn't use a controller during the tutorial, but I could in the menus. It stops working when I get to this section, and entering quick play causes me to lose it.
Look, I know what you're doing. You're clicking quick play to feel the game before trying the story, but honestly, that's the wrong way around.
You told me to go to the tutorial! I can't play the tutorial because it doesn't work! And if I go to new story, you say, oh, go play the tutorial! The fix was to go to the settings and select a controller. So finally, I could actually try this game. Basing it off the tutorial, I can confirm this guy definitely knows how football works. My ranking, eardrums shattered. Dino Dini's Kickoff Revival, it didn't load the menu. FootLOL. Full name, FootLOL Epic Fail League. I don't have the best feeling about this. Never tried to play this football in real life? Is this the alien Ted Lasso? What is the gameplay like? What the fuck? Is this World War football? You don't control anyone. Instead, you drop bombs, and I have 100 of these. Was this how the great story of the Christmas truce between the English and German soldiers actually happened? Regardless, I experienced enough FootLOL for a lifetime. It's better than Angle Soccer. Barely. D tier. Unfortunately, I couldn't download Captain Tsubasa as I don't have enough storage available for nearly 50 gigabytes. Pixel Cup Soccer Ultimate Edition. This was one of the few that intrigued me when I had an initial look at them. Several of these games are pixelated, but this seemed different. I decided to try out a simple friendly match. How would the footballers be named? We got Darwin, Luis, Federico, and so on. Who needs that FIFA Pro license? Entering the match, this might be the best pixel art so far. To the gameplay,
Darwin Nunez. Oh, upright.
the players running felt weird at first, like they were on ice as they tried to churn. It was also difficult to score for me and my opponents. I appreciate that there's actually music and sound effects that complements the game's atmosphere. Scoreless after extra time, this ended up going to penalties with Darwin up first.
Right, Darwin. So how do I... they didn't tell me what to do here. I did not know I could dive that early. Oh, what? Both posts? Bro, I had the right way. Oh, at least I'm not the only one messing up. Dude, about to lose to the training team. Don't worry. Okay, we lost. The winner is the training team. Despite the weird movement, I enjoyed my limited time, and it has more to offer. I have to give this out as our first S tier. Took over 25 games to get that. Gambare, Super Strikers. Compared to the last game, the menu is simpler. I went into the story mode where you can create your team, including a player. Only one though, as the rest are made for you. Similar to Football Tactics and Glory, it's a turn-based strategy football game. Although, this has special abilities. To break down your opponents, special ability, Ice Pass. Apparently, there's status effects too, such as poison and paralysis. Why? I'm not sure. The other differences between this and the previous turn-based game was that Gambare had allowed each player up to 2 actions before ending your turn. I'm not sure if this is better or not, but I get the idea. Maybe it's because I played a turn-based game less than a few hours ago, but high C tier from me. Indoor kickball. Why did I buy this? While it could be a fine game, it certainly isn't football, so you can go beside nuts. Soccer Online Ball 3D. The world didn't want me to play this because I wasn't allowed to install it. Conveniently, Steam servers were down. After a few minutes though, I was given the honor to download it. You're immediately placed onto the pitch to learn the controls. We are a hockey puck playing football. Trying a match out, it feels similar to Macwell's football on Minecraft. Things happen, and I'm just a bystander. There's not much else to say. D tier. Super Soccer Blast. It's a standard football game, which gives you the option to choose a stadium and ball. By now, you can expect the team names, although the amount of them were limited. International football, it is. Here are the player names. Who is Omar? The game reminds me of the Wii's FIFA 09 All Play 9 vs 9 meme mode, just not as good. There is fan noise, but I think adding music would have been nice. Overall, it's a run-of-the-mill type football game with tournament modes and challenges, which are basically achievements. This will get a C tier. Super Kickoff. It's another one of those from the past on multiple platforms. Starting with the Super Nintendo version, I committed a foul early on and waited for 30 seconds before play resumed. This kept happening after every foul. Let's try the Sega Mega Drive version. Unlike the previous, I could properly use the menus and actually select a team. Player names, Jamie Redknapp is now Jamie Blueknapp. This version of the game moves a whole lot quicker. Too quickly actually. At least they're nice enough to include a radar. Why does it have to cover half the screen? No matter the size, the game is moving too fast to even use it. The benefit is the aftermath of fouls don't take as long as taking a piss. The graphics on both versions are good for its time, the rest, not so much. What about the Game Boy version? Now that's more like it. We don't need colors, only shades of green. Might be the best out of the 3. F. I don't think I'm being harsh, as I played a game on the NES that was better than all of these. Finally, Pocket League Story. This could be mobile fodder, as it came out on the phone 10 years before Steam. Regardless, what's this about? You create a team in hopes to become the best in the world. We are the Chroo. And if it wasn't obvious enough, this does appear to be a mobile game from the early to mid 2010s. It reminds me of those where you wait a painstaking amount of time to make progress, unless you spend money. I remember a Simpsons game and The Sims. This thankfully doesn't use microtransactions, although does appear dated with pop-ups imitating those from Windows XP. Looking to make transfers, I couldn't sign this guy on my first attempt. Don't fret, go to their house again and spend 1/5 of your budget. At least the local residents were excited for our creation, especially the cheesemaker, as business has stunk recently. Mate, that might be your cheese. Players have levels and can grow, but apparently some grow more than others. Wanting to play a match? We have to wait 2 weeks? The top left shows what year, month, and week it is, so we can only wait and watch our side train. Finally, our first match day arrived. You don't control the game. You just set up the tactic and play style. Outside of that, I can use my control stick to move the camera. I can see this being fun for a kid. For me though, I'd rather not sit and watch a 0-0. It's better than mobile fodder, so C tier. This is the overall tier list. Did any games catch your eye? Let me know in the comments. The big question is, was this worth $200? No.